Nice to be here with you. Excuse me, I'm a little under the weather this week, just a little congested, so you might hear that in my voice. Apologize for that. But it's a beautiful reminder to check in with self, see where I am, where we are as the seasons change, weather cools down. It's the classic time where our body is readjusting and recalibrating to different temperatures, different feelings and sensations, and it's one of the most vulnerable times for our nervous system at the change of the seasons. So I hope you are all staying well and connected as best as possible, staying warm, cozy, and just enjoying this new sense of season and cycle that we're entering in, wherever you might be. Staying close to nature is always my most grounding force, that's for sure. So I thought today, let's stand up if you're not standing, and we'll just start with some basic shaking it out. For me, it's my go-to to move some stagnant energy and just wake up to my body, and then we're gonna shake it out, and then we're gonna come back to the mat and lie down and do some very gentle opening stretches and into some meditation and deep rest. So nothing too big, but come back to standing or come up to standing, and let's start with just one leg. So you can stand straight and strong on your left leg and just shake out that right leg and let the joints be loose. Right now I can feel I'm already holding my ankle, starting to tension it. So, okay, can I release that ankle? Can I release my knee joint? I'm kind of just flicking out my leg there. And let's switch. So coming to the stand on the right leg and flicking out the ankle, flicking out the knee, and just trying to let it reverberate and be loose all up the backside of my leg, into my hamstrings, into my glutes. Now we can switch just as you will, back and forth. And I can even feel into my hip joint and kind of just that sense of, it's like I want to flick out and create some space in there, create some space in my joints, in my leg, lengthen a bit. Good. All right, let's come back to standing on the left leg and draw the right leg up and out in front of us and just point and flex the foot a little bit. Just open that ankle a little bit, take some ankle circles, and reverse. Good. And then just ease through that knee joint, back and forth, forward and back, bending and straightening the knee. But it gains a bit of its own momentum as it goes, as it moves. And then see if we can operate through the hip joint. So the knee and the ankle are loose, but we're really focusing on that ball and socket of the hip joint. And I'm just waving the knee back and forth to articulate that hip joint. Good. Release that. And let's come to stand on the right leg. And point and flex the left ankle. And take some ankle circles. Reverse. Oh, I feel some clicking in there. Okay, and now the knee joint. Bend and straighten. Have a little bit of swing in there. And then into the hip joint. So just waving the knee and the ankle. Just trying to articulate and feel the different ways that ball and socket joint can kind of move and rotate, change direction, change angle. Good. And release, and we shake that out. This is a little bit of a Qigong technique. We're just going to take a light pat or slap, but really gentle, no pain. And we're going to go all through our legs, the glutes, the hamstrings, the back of the legs. And what this does, this little bit of slapping, is it encourages both energy, chi, and blood circulation. So we're just really warming up and waking up the legs. So just gently tapping all over your legs, your feet, toes, ankles, even bottoms of the feet. Keep going, all over, all sides, all areas of the legs, the calves, the shins, everywhere. And what we're doing is we're bringing awareness, we're creating a bit of life, vibration, and pulsation in these legs. And we're also warming them up. I like to go around kind of the hips as well, and just really fill that bottom half of the body with some energy, with some awareness, and with some warmth through this blood. It's very easy during the fall to kind of lose ground because there's so much airiness, there's so much wind and breeze and cooler weather, and we start to get really kind of heady and up here, and so it's important to really find our feet and find our legs. So just finishing that off, wherever you are. Good, good. And maybe taking a few bounces and bends of the knees to just feel the weight, the grounding weight of gravity pouring through the body. Maybe taking a deep breath. And just, as I bend my knees, can I allow my hips just to sink straight down? The knees will come forward a little bit, but my hips and my glutes are sinking straight down over my ankles. I'm just feeling into that, letting the muscles in my legs activate a little bit. Deep breath in. And letting go. Good. And just find that weightiness and say, okay, I'm here. I'm here. I'm grounded. I'm awake. I can feel my toes. I can feel my heels. I can shift weight side to side. I'm here. Beautiful. So now that we've established our grounding tether, we can start to open up the upper body. But it's really nice, I find, to establish the legs and a sense of groundedness before moving up here. Beautiful. So let's take hands on the hips, roll some hip circles all the way around. And reverse direction. And again, we're just going to do a simple warm-up up here, do some similar tapping, and then we'll come back down to the mat. Ooh. Okay. And let's shake out the hands and the arms. So again, letting the wrists go loose, letting the elbows go loose, and everything kind of flip and flop and flap in all different directions. There's no right or wrong way to do it. And we're just shaking that out. Good. And let's flick the fingers. Roll the wrists one direction and the opposite. Elbows. Opposite direction. And shoulders. Good. And roll the opposite way. And we're moving a little quicker than usual, but it's just because sometimes we don't need to spend so much time here, but we're just warming up, waking up the body, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to take some light taps all through the hands and the arms, backs of the arms, the forearms. You can go one at a time. You can try to do both at the same time. Up into the shoulders. Waking up to the body, waking up to this day, this moment. And let's bring it into the belly, into the low back, into the side body, so the ribs, rib cage, the chest, all around. Into the armpit. We have a lot of lymph nodes in the armpit that are responsible for moving waste in the body, helping digest waste, lymph fluid. It's really good to activate those and get the back body as best you can. I'll just show you, as best you can. Get the kidneys, the low back. Maybe you can get the mid back a bit. Kind of tough. And then you can reach over the top of the shoulders, get the top of the shoulders, shoulder blades, and the neck, the back of the neck. Good. Finding our breath, finding a bit of stillness and connection. Sorry if that was loud. Front of the throat, just very gentle as we come into the throat and the face. I start to just use my fingertips for gentle tapping, little light taps. We don't want to overactivate. We're already so active in our head most of the time. But it's good also because a lot of overthinking and stress, there's muscles all throughout our face and our head, obviously. And so those muscles also need to relax and have some relief. So this gentle tapping can just provide a bit of relief and acknowledgement for all those muscles and all they do. Good. Around the ears, behind the ears. Oh, the jaw is a good one. The jaw holds so much tension. Yeah, let's take a minute on the jaw. And the kind of, where the jaw, kind of underneath the bottom of the ear, where the jaw bone and the ear, the back of the ear kind of meet. Yeah, really good place to get in touch with. Good. Deep breaths, releasing through the mouth, yawning, sighing, sounding at any time. Just covering my face, going around the eye sockets, even to the bridge of the nose, forehead. Yeah. Nice. Bit down the back of the head, spinal cord, top of the spine. Good. All right, and you can release that whenever you're ready. Take a general shake. Very gentle, slow, easy. Doesn't have to be big. We've really kind of just come down through all of that. And maybe find, your heels and your toes, shifting a little bit of weight, just to find your feet again. Come into a nice standing posture, whatever feels good for you. No need to adjust. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Let's take a few of those, and if you'd like, you can mimic the intake and exhale of the air, of the breath through the hands. So inhaling, drawing up. Exhaling, pushing down and out. Matching the pace of the hands with the breath, inhaling. Belly filling, diaphragm filling, gathering, and then moving up into the chest and the clavicle. Exhale out. Releasing, letting go. Hands moving the entire time. Inhale. At the top of the breath, exhale. Let go. We don't need to bring in a full 110% breath. We don't want to create tension in the shoulders and the neck. Oftentimes, if we overbreathe, we're actually creating tension. So we just want to lengthen the breath and have a nice, steady inhalation. We reach the top of what feels comfortable, and we turn the hands. Exhale, palms come down. And we find this fluid motion in and out with the breath, up and down with the hands. So We're in a constant state of flow. Two more. Gather as we inhale. And expel as we exhale. Good. Gather, last one. Palms and hands and fingers are soft. Exhale. Let go. Bring the palms face down on the ground, slightly out from the body, and just draw some circles through the palms of the hand. So the fingers are relaxed. You're almost as if you were cupping a softball, but the palms are face down. You're just drawing some circles. And you might even feel a bit of this energy in the center of the hand, the center of the palm, and this connection to the ground. That's what we're cultivating. That's what we're creating here. Good. Good. Okay. Let's move and transition with presence down to the mat, down to the ground. We're going to come to lie on our backs. So, come to lie on your backs. I have my knees bent with my feet flat on the floor to start. And we're gonna move through a similar motion, connecting the arms and the breath. So the hands are down, face down at our sides, the knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor, and we're going to inhale, raise the arms up above the body and then up above the top of the head as they come back. And exhaling. All the way back down. Inhale. And my hands are relaxed. I have that kind of softball cupping palm. And then as I exhale, my wrist, the bottom of my wrist is what's leading. So my fingers are kind of drawn back. And then I gently draw the palms all the way to the ground. They almost touch. And then inhale, kind of dragging the hands. It's like dragging the hands through honey. And as soon as you exhale, you flip and the wrists start to draw forward. The fingers follow. Beautiful. Last one. Inhale. Maybe you even arch and stretch through the low back a little bit, through the rib cage, through the underarms. We hold up here for a moment. Exhale, release, just draw the arms down back by the sides. Let go. And then pick up the knees, draw them in towards the chest, and clasp the knees with the hands. I'm going to stay here for a moment. If you'd like, if it feels comfortable for you, you can close the eyes. And we're not pulling and tugging on the knees. We have just enough clasp through the hands and pressure that we're just coming into a little bit of a ball here. Feeling that connection between the top and the bottom halves of our body. Drawing that energy together. And just letting the heart rate slow down, let the breath slow down. More than a stretch or anything that's opening, I view this posture as a posture of connection. It's similar to the stance and position we take in the womb, in our fetal position. So it's just a remembrance of the body. It's a connection point. giving ourselves a little bit of a hug, coming back to ground. Feeling the spine nice and long. The breath, releasing and relaxing any tensions or any holdings in the shoulders, in the hands, in the face. Can we surrender here into a space of comfort? If it's bothering you, if it's bothering your low back in any way, you can always just place the feet back down on the floor with the knees bent. Well, what's it feel like to come back to this position of safety? This position of holding yourself, caring for yourself. Maybe the body wants to make some micro adjustments. Maybe the knees want to even come in a little further. Keeping with a deep and elongated breath, the muscles and the contractions naturally begin to fade, and we find more space, more room. Good. And then if it feels right for you and you can clasp the outer edges of the feet with the hands, and we can come into a happy baby. So, and here as well, we're not cranking our muscles and drawing, the knees in as deep as possible, but instead, can we actually find kind of a median position that is both opening and comfortable enough, tolerable for us to relax into, to ease into, to breathe into. Inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Two more. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Last one. Deep breath in. Fill the belly, fill the diaphragm. Fill the side body, the ribs, the back body. And then finally the chest. Maybe hold at the top for a minute. And release. Sorry, that was not holding at the top for a whole minute, but just a poor expression in that moment. Good, and let's bring the knees back down to the ground. And let's windshield wiper the knees. So the feet are in a bit of a wide stance towards the edges of the mat. The knees are bent, and they're just following one side to the other. I like to take the arms up above the head here, almost like a bit of a morning stretch. It helps articulate through the side body and the ribs, while my knees are just floating side to side. Following that deep and long breathing pattern, deep into the belly. Exhaling out the mouth. And just allowing the entire nervous system and body to wind down. Wherever you are in your day, in time and space, just giving yourself the opportunity and the permission, the allowance to stretch and curl and wake up, to be embodied, to rest. So maybe finding a bit of free expression here. For me, my arms really want to stretch long over my head as I twist to one side. Maybe for you, you want to stay on one side. I'm really feeling this desire to kind of oscillate back and forth, to wave and weave. Maybe you find a spot that you really, just want to stay in and breathe into. And there's also the invitation to explore through the joints, through the fingertips, the wrists, the elbows. I'm just finding some fluidity in movement and expression. Wrists, thumbs. Coming back to our feet flat on the floor whenever you're ready. No rush. Feet flat on the floor, knees bent, palms down by the sides, and just finding a bit of a bridge motion. So to start, I'm not even coming up all the way, but I'm just pressing into the feet. So more than it's a lift from the hips, I'm pressing down into the feet. And the hips then naturally start to rise. And then I can feel as I come up, oh, my spine wants to lengthen, my neck wants to lengthen, and releasing back down. If we lift from the hips, we're putting a lot of pressure on the low back. But if we press into the heels and the toes in order to lift, we're starting to use the hamstrings and the glutes. And that's what we really want to fire and activate here. Not to create big muscular activation, but just so that we're properly engaging the proper muscles for this action, which teaches the body, okay, I don't need to overload the low back. I don't need to overload the knees. Actually, I can just press into the feet. Oh, there are my hamstrings. There are my glutes. And I'm just oscillating gently up and down. And finding position again, all the way back down, letting the pelvis really rest onto the ground. And bringing the knees up into the chest one more time, releasing that low back. Finding my breath. If it feels comfortable for you, you can close the eyes. Letting go of tension in the face, shoulders, any gripping in the hands and the arms. The ankles are relaxed. The jaw, corners of the eyes. Easing into a sense of self. Of coming home to the body. To our beingness. And gently and slowly the fingers start to pull apart and the knees draw back down towards the earth and the feet find the floor. Now from here, you can straighten the legs. Find some nice lengthening in the legs. And maybe splay out the ankles a little bit. Maybe shake through the bottom half of the body. Shake through the legs, through the hips. Just sending the hips kind of side to side. Let everything go a little loosey-goosey. And I'm going to sit up, but I want you to take a moment to move in any way that feels good and comfortable for you. Feels like if there's any final posture or explorative movement that you want to take, any final stretches and openings that just are calling to you. Take a moment to discover where you are in this state of time and space. Yeah, for me, I definitely still have a little bit of tightness I can tell in my low back, so I'm just rolling out my low back a little bit. And then if you need to come into a child's pose or a cat-cow, please feel free to do so. We're going to take a few minutes before rest, before meditation, for just personal exploration. And it doesn't have to be a specific posture. It doesn't have to be super dancey and flowy. It is really whatever feels like it's calling to you. So we're encouraging a sense of intuitive embodiment. When we get in touch with ourselves, in touch with our breath, when we ground down and we melt the corridors of the mind, we make room and space for the body to speak, intuition to speak. And that's what's flowing through now. Allow those pulsations to move through you. We didn't touch so much on the neck, so maybe the neck needs some opening. Just taking some gentle circles. Yeah, I think I'm even going to come into a bit of a cat-cow. And just rolling through the spine. Remember, these are just suggestions. Their true invitation is for you to find what you need at this moment. Could be ready for rest already. Good. And when you're ready, in your own time, make your way to a comfortable either seat or lying down position. Could be either. I'm going to sit. If you want to kind of be in a more meditative posture, you can find an upright seat. If you want to be guided through a bit more rest, you can take a shavasana, a prone position, lying fully on your back, with your arms and ankles splayed out, and just resting into the support of the earth. Take a moment to make yourself comfortable, find your proper support. And then soften the gaze. And if you like, close the eyes. Begin to melt any final movements or twitches. Let go of a need to do or be in any particular state. And find your ground of stillness. Find your state of inner awareness. Let go into the support of the earth. sounds around you. Allow the sensations of the body give way to any emotions that are arising. Feel the beat of the heart. This is your place. This is your vessel of embodiment, of spirit. Rest into the knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Take as long as you like in this state of rest, and I will see you next week.